Hello everyone. This is the pre-market report video for today, 14th October 2024 for the Indian stock market in terms of Nifty and Bank Nifty. Quickly, let's look at what happened on US market last Friday. Before their market opening, two of the biggest four banks, JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo, both released their Q3 earnings results and both of their quarterly results beats the analyst estimation. So JP Morgan Chase increased above 4% and Wells Fargo increased 5.6%. Just to clarify, whatever earnings are released by US companies this month will be Q3. Whatever earnings are released by Indian companies in India will be Q2, since both countries use different fiscal year start and end months. Anyway, back to the topic. Both banks posted very good results. Hence, on the expectation of better results on the other companies, Friday night US market increased further. Dow Jones increased by 0.97%. S&P 500 was up by 0.61% and Nasdaq was also up by 0.33%. In case of VIX, it dropped by 2% and still above 20. In the last pre-market video, we discussed about high US consumer inflation. In addition to that, Friday night PPI data, US wholesale inflation number also comes as above the analyst expectation. And in the later part of last Friday, Michigan's one-year inflation expectation macro was released, which again comes as above the expectation, 2.9% versus 2.7% expected. So whatever US inflation related data released last week, it's not at all good. However, because of good earnings by the bank, market choose to ignore it. Regarding oil, the floods in Florida caused demand worries, which in turn reduces the oil price by around 1%. At the time of this video, WTI crude trading around $74.5 per barrel, whereas Brent crude closed near $78 per barrel. In terms of Indian ADR, as it is, both the banks closed negative, whereas both IT stocks closed positive. Then, if we calculate the arbitrage, it's showing both the banks still got around 1% negative, whereas Infosys and Reliance GDR both got flat to mild negative. On the contrary, only Wipro got the positive 1% arbitrage, and it may be due to their announcement. Later this week, they are going to release their Q2 results. For that, during weekend, they said that in the upcoming board meeting, they are going to consider the bonus issue. As we know, generally, issuing bonus is good for stock price and volatility. So maybe that's the reason why Wipro alone positive. So overall, for the moment, IT looks okay, but banks looking very weak. About GIFT Nifty, on Saturday morning, it closed at 25,140. Equating it over spot market, it indicates 70 to 110 points gap up opening. So that's all about the Friday global market. Now let's move to the India specific info. First, on Friday in the aftermarket hours, Indian government released two important macros: yearly basis industrial production growth rate and monthly basis manufacturing output. For the first time in the last 2 years, industrial production growth didn't increase, rather it contracted, which is not good, and the data is bad because of weak mining activity and lower electricity generation. So to some extent, those sectors such as mining and power stocks will be on focus today. Second, regarding institutional activity, for the consecutive 10 sessions in a row in the cash market, FII was net sellers. The net sold for 4,160 crore rupees, whereas again DII supported the market by net buying for 3,730 crore rupees. Then in the derivative market, after 3 days of mad selling, FII turned as net buyers. Overall in the derivative market, the net bought for 18,500 crore rupees. Especially in the option market, the net bought for 24,150 crore rupees. As a summary, last Friday night, because of very good earnings, US market closed positive, and in line with that, for now, GIFT Nifty is indicating 80 to 110 points gap up opening. However, please note the US inflation related macros, whatever they released last week, was not in favor of the market. And today in the aftermarket hours, Reliance Industries and HCL Tech is going to release their Q2 quarterly results. If required, please pause and have a look. This is the Reliance Industries consolidated previous SNP. Sequentially, revenue expects to increase 2.2%. EBITDA expects to decrease by 5% due to the profit margin contraction in the O2C business segment. However, net profit expect to increase 24%. In addition to above all, year over year, retail business EBITDA expects to grow 7%, Jio's EBITDA to increase 12%, and the ARPU to grow 5%. So once the results released, each metric in Reliance Industries will be scrutinized by the investors. Then in case of HCL Tech, sequentially revenue to increase 2%, EBIT to increase 6%, and EBIT margin to increase mildly. Anyway, all those results details we'll discuss in tomorrow's pre-market video. Moving on, based on stocks open interest, there is a short build up on 47 stocks such as Cipla, Shree Cement, City Union Bank, ICICI General Insurance, Escorts, and Balakrishna Industries, etc. On the contrary, 50 stocks had the long build up. Some of them are Divi's Lab, India Mart, National Aluminium, Deepak Nitrite, and PVR Inox. About the things to look out, before the Indian market hours, various Chinese trade related data are scheduled to release. Then during the market hours at 12 p.m, India's wholesale inflation data and China's new loan data is due. And in the aftermarket hours at 5 p.m, India's consumer inflation, and in the night some FOMC members speech, New York Fed 1-year consumer inflation expectation, and Fed budget balance are some of the important things we need to keep an eye out today. Coming to technical, last Friday Nifty opened marginally in the red, and again at another day, same as last 3 previous sessions, consolidated within a narrow range 25,250 to 24,900, and again for the third day in a row it closed marginally below 25,000 mark. Thus on the daily chart, Nifty formed a small bearish candle with minor upper and lower shadow, indicating a continuation of the range bound trade. Here please note, Nifty had been keep on taking support at between 24,900 and 25,000 mark, and as per regular technical analysis, this is clear weakness. The more it hammered down on the support, one day it will break down. That is the general widely followed and accepted technical. But the problem in the Indian market is it got the Akshaya Patra called SIP. In the last 2 years, in my experience for analyzing the pre-market, that Akshaya Patra haven't allowed it to break down. So here I'm not saying positive or negative, rather I'm more inclined in the neutral side. Similarly on the weekly chart also it formed a bearish candle but with minor upper and relatively long lower shadow, resembling a high wave pattern, which indicating a possible reduction in the selling pressure. Overall so far, Nifty could not able to close above the 50-day moving average, which in turn showing the struggle, while on the lower side it defended the 24,900 level 3 days in a row. At the same time, volatility dropped significantly from the week's high. Hence, if Nifty managed to climb decisively above the 50-day exponential moving average and up move towards 25,200 to 25,300 cannot be ruled out, with 24,900 as a support. If it breaks this support, selling pressure may extend to last week's low of 24,700. In case of Bank Nifty, it opened 40 points gap down and lost some of its previous day's gains, but still closed above the 100-day moving average 51,100. Thus on the daily chart, Bank Nifty formed a bearish candlestick pattern and the volume is very low. In this case, it continued to trade within the last Monday's range 50,200 to 51,800 and below the 50-day exponential moving average 51,750 to 51,800, which again coincides with the upper end of Monday's range. So breaking out on either side will defend the momentum. On the options front, the maximum call option open interest was at 26,000 strike, followed by 25,000 strike, with maximum new call option writing at 25,000 strike and 26,000. Whereas the maximum put option open interest was at 25,000 strike, followed by 24,000, with maximum new put option writing at 24,950 and 24,900. Thus from options data, it indicates a broader trading range between 24,500 and 25,500 zone, with an immediate range between 24,700 and 25,200 level. So that's all in this video. Hope you all got some information. Please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, so it will help me beat the YouTube algorithm and also motivate me to do more. Please don't make any investment decision based on this, as I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing this for me and viewers' educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.